What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 22 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. Now a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got one pick wrong and got 22 right, which is a 98% win rate. Yes guys, you heard that right, 98% win rate. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 98% win rate and get 22 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, which should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $180 just yesterday, and another member who won $115 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group, and I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to Oscar H4173 who said this guy is crazy good. So shouts out to him, and also shouts out to Novemberfest EXO who said bro, literally every single one of them are on hot streak. So we have been on a crazy hot streak as of lately, so we are hoping to continue that today, but shouts out to them. And if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're going to be talking about is none other than Alyssa Thomas. And this one is for 8.5 assists, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Alyssa Thomas, we actually have seen her go on the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we see on July 15th, faced off against Golden State Valkyries, actually, did pretty decent there, had 11 assists. Then July 17th, faced off against Minnesota, had 9 assists in that matchup. Then July 24th, faced off against Atlanta, had 9 assists there. Then July 26th, faced off against New York Liberty and had 8 assists. Then 8 assists against Washington Mystics on the 28th, on July 28th, that is. So we actually have seen her go in the under in 2 out of the last 5 games. And looking at this matchup, we do actually see that when it comes to Alyssa Thomas, we have seen her average over the last 5 being 9. Now, coming into this matchup, we do know Phoenix Mercury have themselves a great matchup against Indiana Fever. Now, looking at both of these teams, we do know, starting off with Phoenix Mercury, we do know that they rank 3rd when it comes to their ranking in the WNBA. Now, they also rank 2nd in the Western Conference, however, and they have a record of 16 wins and also 9 losses. That's a 64% win percentage. They are 9-4 from home, 7-5 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also see Indiana Fever on the other side. Indiana do come in at the 6th spot in the WNBA, but also rank 3rd in the Eastern Conference. And they have a record of 14 wins and 12 losses. That's a 53.8% win percentage. They're also 8-6 from home, 6-6 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. Now, coming into this game, we do also see, looking at, Alyssa Thomas, Phoenix Mercury's and Indiana Fever's defense, we do know that Indiana Fever do rank 2nd when it comes to assists allowed. And that is a big reason why we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely are expecting the under, as Indiana have shown time and time again why they are one of the best defensive teams out there, especially restricting assists. And we definitely see that being a huge effect coming into this game against Alyssa. Now, looking at Thomas as well, we do see that she is a forward, and Indiana Fever also do a great job at restricting assists to that forward position. So we definitely see that being a big case coming into this one. So this one's kind of a no-brainer to us. We are definitely liking the under for it. And when we look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have her favored for the under as well. So Alyssa Thomas, 8.5 assists for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about Kelsey Mitchell, and this one is for 19.5 points, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Kelsey Mitchell, we have actually seen her go on the under in 1 out of the last 5 games. Now, looking at those 5 games, we do see that, Kelsey Mitchell has on July 16th faced off against Connecticut, had 20 points there. Then July 17th faced off against New York Liberty, had 16 points there. Then July 23rd faced off against New York Liberty, had 29 points. Then July 25th faced off against Las Vegas Aces, had 21 points. And then July 28th faced off against Chicago and had 35 points there. So we have actually seen Kelsey Mitchell, go on the under in 1 out of the last 5, as we've mentioned. And our average over the last 5 is also 24.2. Now, when it comes to Kelsey Mitchell, we do know Indiana face off against Phoenix Mercury. Now, we did most recently just talk about this, matchup and this matchup in a sense of where they do rank. But looking at Indiana and Phoenix just real briefly, Indiana Fever, like I said, coming at the 6th spot. Now, they do have a record of 14-12 over the season, but over the last 10 games, they have a record of 6-4. Now, Phoenix Mercury on the other side have a record that rank them in the 3rd spot in the WNBA. They have a record of 16 wins and 9 losses, but over the last 10 games, they have a record of 5-5. Now, we are looking at points and looking at where Phoenix Mercury do rank points-wise. They do actually come in at the 5th spot. So they do rank pretty well when it comes to points. However, the reason why, and a big reason why we are sticking to the under for this one is because when we look at a per position basis, we do actually see that, Kelsey Mitchell is a guard, and Phoenix Mercury actually do a fantastic job at restricting points to the guard position. So we definitely are expecting to see someone like Kelsey Mitchell struggle here. Phoenix Mercury as well have done a fantastic job time and time again, at slowing down teams. Phoenix Mercury have done a great job at slowing down teams, especially faster paced teams compared to them. And since Indiana, they do face off against them, and Indiana do like to play somewhat a fast-paced type game, we are expecting Phoenix to try their best to try to slow down the pace. And as we all know, less pace means less volume and less opportunity for someone like Kelsey Mitchell. So we are definitely liking the under for this one. So we are definitely sticking to that. So Kelsey Mitchell, 19.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about Jonquel Jones. And this one is for 9.5 rebounds, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at Jonquel Jones, we actually have seen her go on the under in 4 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, we see on June 20th, faced off against Phoenix, had 4 rebounds there. July 23rd, faced off against Indiana, had 9 rebounds. July 26th, faced off against Phoenix, had 11 rebounds. Then 8 rebounds against Los Angeles Sparks on the 27th, and then 7 rebounds against Dallas on July 29th. So it has definitely been interesting there. Looking at where Jonquel Jones has ranked, we have seen her actually go on the under in 4 out of the last 5, and her average over the last 5 is also 7.8, so significantly below their line. Now, when we look at New York Liberty's matchup, they do face off against Minnesota Lynx. Now, this is going to be an exciting game because looking at where both of these teams do rank, we do know New York Liberty do actually come in at the 2nd spot in the WNBA. They have a record of 17 wins and 8 losses. Now, that does put them in the number 1 spot, however, in the Eastern Conference, and they have a record of a percentage of 68%. They're also 12-3 at home, 5-5 from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. Now, on the other side of things, they face off against Minnesota Lynx, who do come in at the number 1 spot in the WNBA and also the number 1 spot in the Western Conference. Now, they have a record of 22 wins and 5 losses. That's an 81.5% win percentage. They're also 14-1 at home, 8-4 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. Now, coming into this game, we do also see, looking at both of these teams, both teams do actually rank very well when it actually comes, to their ranking overall. These are some of the top teams in, the WNBA, and that's why it's definitely going to be an exciting one for sure. But coming into this matchup, we do also see that someone like Jonquel Jones and facing off against Minnesota, we have actually seen Minnesota Lynx do rank 8th when it comes to rebounds allowed. So they rank pretty low, but why do we still like the under for this one? Now, a big reason being is for 2 reasons. Now, the first is that when you actually look at Minnesota, they still do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds to the big man or big woman position in this case. Now, Jonquel Jones does play that center position. She does play big, and Minnesota have done a fantastic job all season long at actually, restricting rebounds. So that's why we do or are expecting someone like Jonquel Jones to struggle here. And also looking at Jones's usage rate out there on the floor, it's definitely been very, very tough in the rebounding department. We haven't seen her be able to get the same amount of opportunities or looks as she usually does see. And that's why coming into this one, we do very, very much like the under for someone like Jonquel Jones here. Now looking at what the bookies are saying, bookies also have a favorite for the under Phoenix, as well, so that works there. July 23rd, so for that reason, Jonquel Jones 9.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but PrizePicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first we're going to be talking about is none other than Ari McDonald. So Ari McDonald, great player for none other than Indiana Fever. And when we look at Indiana Fever and Ari, we actually have seen her do a fantastic job, averaging 8.4 points, 2.1 rebounds, 4.4 assists, and also 1.4 steals. So she definitely has done a fantastic job for Indiana. And when we look at Indiana Fever, we do know that they have themselves a very good matchup against Phoenix Mercury. Now it is definitely going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at where both of these teams do actually rank, looking at them on a more, ranking sort of basis, we do see starting off with Indiana Fever come in at the 6th spot in the WNBA. They do rank actually 3rd in the Eastern Conference as well. And on top of that, they have a record of 14 wins and 12 losses. So it's a 53.8% win percentage. They are 8-6 from home, 6-6 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. Now, on top of that, they face off against Phoenix Mercury. Now, Phoenix Mercury do actually come in at the 3rd spot in the WNBA. Now, they rank 2nd in the Western Conference, and they have a record of also 16 wins and 9 losses. So, definitely a little bit better than Indiana Fever. They have a 64% win percentage, and on top of that, we also have seen them do 9-4 from home, 7-5 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now coming into this matchup, it's definitely going to be an exciting one, but looking at actually where Ari McDonald actually does rank when it comes to Phoenix Mercury ranking defensively, we do actually see Phoenix Mercury come in at the 5th spot in points allowed. They also rank 7th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed. We also see Phoenix Mercury rank 9th. So we do actually see them rank pretty mid-tier in all 3 categories. Now, for that reason, we do very, very much like the over for this situation here for someone like Ari, but we are sticking a little bit to rebounds and assists in this situation. Now, a big reason being is that when we actually look at Phoenix Mercury in points, they do actually rank 5th, so they rank somewhat a little bit decent. They rank a little bit worse obviously in assists and rebounds, and those are the ones we kind of do just want to focus on. Now, on top of anything else, although Ari McDonald has actually gone pretty well in certain categories at times, coming into this matchup against Phoenix Mercury, we also do see that Mercury do a very poor job at restricting rebounds and assists to the guard position. So we definitely are expecting someone like Ari McDonald to be able to take advantage of this. Now coming into this game and looking at Ari over the last 5, we have seen on the 16th faced off against Connecticut Sun, had an 85-77 win, had 2 points, 0 rebounds, and 3 assists there. Then on the 17th faced off against New York Liberty, had a 98-77 loss with 10 points, 1 rebound, and 5 assists there. After that, faced off on the 23rd against New York Liberty again, had a 98-84 loss in that matchup, having 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists there. Then against Las Vegas Aces on the 25th, had an 80-70 win with 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists in that matchup. Then against Chicago, had a 93-78 win with 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists there. So we definitely have seen Ari McDonald, do well in some games and other games not really do too well. But as we always know, it's always really about the matchups and how those matchups go. And coming into this one, we do very much like the over for someone like Ari McDonald, but like I've mentioned, in rebounds and assists is definitely where we want to focus on. So definitely keep an eye out for that one for Ari McDonald. Keep out for the rebounds and assists line. If the line is under our averages, then definitely look to go on the over. Now getting into the next player, we're going to be be talking about Leonie Fiebich. As you all know, Leonie, great player for New York Liberty. Now, she has done a fantastic job so far this season, averaging 9.3 points, 4.1 rebounds, 1.1 assists, and also 0.9 steals. So she has done a fantastic job for New York Liberty. And on top of that, we also do know that, New York Liberty have themselves a very exciting matchup as they actually face off against Minnesota Lynx. Now, it is going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, and that is for this reason that we are looking at some of the top teams in the actual WNBA. We do see that New York Liberty do rank second in the WNBA. Now, they also rank first in the Eastern Conference, however, and they have a record of 17 wins and 8 losses. That's a 68% win percentage with a 12-3 record at home, 5-5 record from away, and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. Now, when it comes to New York Liberty, they do face off against Minnesota Lynx. Now, Minnesota Lynx do actually rank first in the WNBA and also rank first in the Western Conference. So, this is a matchup between both of the top teams in each conference. Now, Lynx have a bit of a better record of a 22-win, 5-loss record with an 81.5% win percentage. Now, they are 14-1 at home, 8-4 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak as well. Now, coming into this matchup, we do also see that looking at both of these teams, they are not only just the top in both of their, respective conferences, but they do definitely have the top 2 best records as well. So it's definitely been very good there. But looking defensively at Minnesota Lynx, we do know Lynx do rank first in points allowed, first in assists allowed, and when it comes to rebounds allowed, they rank a little bit worse as they rank 8th. So looking at this, we do actually like the under for this situation here for someone like Leonie, however, strictly just for points and assists. Now, a big reason being is that Minnesota Lynx do rank a little bit worse in rebounds, so that is definitely a little bit more of a 50-50. So coming into this game, we are definitely focusing a little bit more on points and assists there. Now, although Leonie is a great player for New York Liberty, she doesn't have the highest usage rate in this team, and we definitely see that, being to our advantage, as we do believe that other players in this actual New York Liberty team may have a higher usage rate and may take away from the usage rate from someone like Leonie coming into this game. So we do very much like the under for this situation. Now, when we look at Leonie over the last 5 games, we do see on the 17th faced off against Indiana Fever, had a 98-77 win with 10 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist there. Then on the 23rd faced off against Indiana, had a 98-84 victory with 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Then on the 26th faced off against Phoenix Mercury, had an 89-76 win with 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Then against LA Sparks, the 101-99 loss with 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist there. Then faced off against Dallas Wings with a 92-82 loss with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 0 assists there. So it definitely has been interesting, in that sense. We have seen Leonie go on the over some games going on the under, but it really does depend on their matchups. And like I've mentioned before, matchups. That's what's most important. And with a tough matchup like Minnesota Lynx, who do a #1 job at restricting points and assists, we are definitely expecting the under for someone like Leonie in both of those departments. So keep an eye out for the under for this one for Leonie Fiebich for points and assists. As I always mentioned, the line is too close to our averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than Yueru. Now, as you all know, Lee is a great player for Dallas Wings. Now, unfortunately, she doesn't have a photo, but looking at her, averages over the season, we have seen her average 6.1 points, 4.8 rebounds, and 0.9 assists. And on top of that, 0.3 steals. So she's definitely done a really good job there. Now, as we all know, Dallas Wings find themselves in a very good matchup against Atlanta Dream. Now, it is going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at where both of these teams do rank, we do know that Dallas Wings do rank 11th in the WNBA. Now, they also rank last in the Western Conference, however. and they have a record of 8 wins and 19 losses. That's a 29.6% win percentage. They're also 5-8 from home, 3-11 from away, and are currently on a 1-game win streak. Now, on the other side of things, we also do know that they face off against none other than Atlanta Dream. And looking at Atlanta Dream on the other side, we do see that Atlanta do rank 5th in the WNBA and also have a record of 15 wins and 11 losses. Now, they rank 2nd actually in the Eastern Conference. They have a 57.7% win percentage, 8-4 from home, 7-7 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. Now, looking at this matchup, we do know that Atlanta Dream do actually rank 4th when it comes to points allowed. They also rank 6th when it comes to assists allowed and 1st when it comes to rebounds allowed. So, we actually have seen Atlanta Dream actually do a very, very solid job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists. Now, coming into this matchup, we do actually like the under for this situation here for someone like Lee. Now, a big reason for this is that Atlanta Dream do also rank very well in all 3 categories. But on top of that, when you look on a per position basis, Yueru actually does end up playing the center position, and Atlanta Dream actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the center position. So we definitely see someone like Lee unfortunately struggling there. Atlanta Dream have definitely been a great defensive team throughout this whole season. Another big thing that they like to do is really slow down the pace. Now, Dallas Wings are a bit of a faster paced team, but coming into this game, we are expecting Atlanta Dream to really slow down the pace. And as we all know, slow pace means less volume, and less volume means less opportunity to score, rebound, or even play make. Now, looking at Yueru over the last 5 games, we have seen on the 17th face-off against Las Vegas Aces, had a 90-86 loss there with 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists in that matchup. Then on the 23rd, face-off against Seattle, had an 87-63 win with 8 points, 10 rebounds, and 0 assists. Then against Golden State Valkyries on the 26th, had a 86-76 loss with 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 0 assists. Then faced off against Las Vegas Aces on the 28th with a 106-80 loss with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 0 assists there. Then against New York Liberty with a 92-82 win with 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist there. So it's definitely been a little bit interesting in that match, in that, sense. But looking at, his past matchups, we have definitely seen him at times, or seen her, at times go on the under, especially against tougher situations. With a tough situation, unfortunately, like Atlanta Dream, we are definitely liking the under for this situation here. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for this one, especially coming into this matchup. We do very much like this situation here. So keep an eye out for the line. If the line is too close to our averages, then definitely look to go on the under. Getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than DeWanna Bonner. So as you all know, DeWanna Bonner, great player from none other than Phoenix Mercury. Now looking at someone like Phoenix Mercury, we do know that she actually has done a very good job so far this season, averaging 8.9 points, 4.3 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and also 1 steal. So we definitely have seen her do a fantastic job there. Now coming into this matchup against Phoenix Mercury, we do know Phoenix face off against Indiana Fever. Now it is going to be an exciting game, and just to remind you all as well where both of these teams do rank, we do know Phoenix do come in at the 3rd spot in the WNBA. They do rank 2nd in the Western Conference and have a record of 16 wins and 9 losses. So that's actually, a very good record, 64% win percentage, but over the last 10 games, they actually have a record of 5 wins and 5 losses. Now, on top of that, they do face off against, like I've mentioned, against Indiana Fever. Now, Fever on the other side do have a record of 14 wins and 12 losses, which ranks them 6th overall in the WNBA, but ranked 3rd in the Eastern Conference. Now, they have a record of 53.8% win percentage. They're also 8-6 from home, 6-6 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. But coming into this matchup, we do also know, looking at Indiana Fever defensively, we do know Indiana Fever do rank 6th when it comes to points allowed, 2nd when it comes to assists allowed, and then 4th when it comes to rebounds allowed. Now, coming into this game, we do very, very much, like this situation situation for someone like DeWanna Bonner, as we do actually like the under for this situation here. Now, a big reason being is that Indiana Fever have done and have shown time and time again they do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the forward position. And coming into this game, we do also like the under due to the fact that when we also look at Indiana Fever, they actually do a fantastic job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the forward position. So coming into this game, we do very much like the under for this situation. Now, looking at someone like DeWanna Bonner over the last 5 games, we have seen on the 15th faced off against Golden State Valkyries, had a 78-77 win in that matchup, but also had 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, faced off against Minnesota Lynx, and in that matchup had a 79-66 loss, which was 11 points, 1 rebound, and 2 assists. After that, faced off against Atlanta on the 24th, had a 90-79 loss with 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist in that matchup. Then also faced off against New York Liberty on the 26th with an 89-76 loss with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists there. After that, we also saw against Washington Mystics on the 28th, had an 88-72 win with 2 points, 6 rebounds, and 0 assists there. So it's definitely been interesting to see. Now, coming into this matchup, we do very much like this situation, as we have seen that when it comes to DeWanna Bonner, we have seen her go under at times, especially against tougher matchups, and that's what we are expecting as well coming into this game. Now, looking at someone like DeWanna Bonner, we have also seen that when it comes to DeWanna, we have definitely seen her usage rate really struggle, especially against tougher teams, and the fact that she doesn't have, I would say, unfortunately, the highest usage rate in this Phoenix Mercury roster, we are expecting other players in this matchup to take a lot more of that usage rate. So for that reason, we are definitely sticking to the under for this situation here. As I've always mentioned, keep an eye out for the line first. If the line is too close to our averages, then definitely look to go on the under there.